Hey guys, it's Abby from Make Life Your Runway, and I'm here to conclude my winter makeup declutter. It's been going on since December, so we're going to do the final categories today, and then come back next week. We'll actually go through like what the whole inventory looks like, every category, how many items, how much it all costs, all of that. We'll totally break it down, but for today it is foundations, concealers, setting powders, and bronzers, and setting spray. So we're just gonna lump it into all one video today. So if that sounds like something you'd like to watch, then just keep watching. Here we go. All right, guys. Some of these items will be more of like, here's what's in this category of my collection, because I just love some categories a lot. But others will be like, bye, we'll see you later. Jared is home today, so if you hear noises, it's him. He's here. He says hey. Alright, so we are going to go category by category, and we will just go ahead and start with setting powders. So let's do this. Sir, quiet on set, sir. Thank you. Hello. Fooled ya. We're clearly in Morty's way. Okay, so these are my finishing powders, setting powders, loose setting powders, all of that stuff. So we see here I have 12 total, and this is definitely going to be a category where I'm just showing you what I have. I do love all the items here, and they are items that I want to continue to work towards using up. So let me just show you. Sir? Okay, there we go. Let me just show you what we have. Alright, so the first thing we have is the Makeup Forever. This is the Matte Velvet Skin. I can never say that right. Y225. I love it. It's actually what I have on in the intro of the video today. So love that product. Another product that I have on under my eyes is the Makeup Revolution Bacon Blot and Banana Light. Again, one of my favorites. You can see I've already hit pan on it already. I've been using it a long time. Then we have the Hourglass. This is the Dim Light, one of their ambient powders. And you guys know I love this powder to finish my makeup, to add an airbrush look. And you best believe I'm going to use everything that is left in there. Next up, we have Laura Mercier, and this is the Translucent Pressed Powder. And it's super nice. It's as finely milled as the loose. Sometimes it's just nicer to have a pressed powder. You know, it's just a little bit quicker to apply every morning. So I'm glad to have this, and I pull it ever so often. And then I also have the loose version of it right here. Love those. Okay, this is newer to my collection. This is the Laura Mercier Loose Setting Powder in 612 Translucent Medium. There's not a lot that comes in here. It's a pretty small packaging, but I have enjoyed using it the few times I've used it. So gonna hold on to that. Here's Hourglass. This is the Veil Translucent Setting Powder. I actually don't have too much left in here, but I love it so much, and it feels like a treat to pull it, and I don't think it's something that I would repurchase just because of the price point. So I'm just gonna hold on to it as long as I can. And then here we have the number 7. This is their Translucent Perfect Light Loose Powder. This is actually the second one that I've owned, and I do really enjoy it. And I know it's kind of hard to find this product. It's not always at Target and store, but it's a nice affordable loose powder option. One that I don't love is Pacifica 100% vegan, cruelty free, and this is their Crystal Rays Luminous Translucent Powder. And I feel like I just honestly haven't given it as much love. I think if I spent time learning to use it or finding a way to use it, I would enjoy it. But because I don't love it as like just setting my foundation, it tends to get pushed to the side, but it might be like a really nice finishing powder. I don't know. I need to play with it. I've had it for a while. It just keeps getting pushed to the back. Another one of my favorite loose setting powders is by Too Faced. This is the Born This Way Ethereal Setting Powder. Love this so much. I probably have half left, and this is definitely something I will repurchase in the future, and I'm not gonna like ever use it up. I should do a video called Products I'll Never Pan, but this would definitely be one of them. Here is Catrice. This is their Light Illusion Loose Setting Powder. This is a Banana Bright powder. It's called Yellow Matte, and I love this for setting the under eyes. Last year I tried a little bit of Catrice's products, and I really do like it, or like them, and I would definitely try more in the future. Alright, next up we have, this is Essence Pure New Highlighter in Be My Highlighter 010. So obviously this is a highlighter, but I like to use it as a finishing powder because I have dry skin. So what I do is just dust it over basically like the highlighting points on my face once I have all my makeup done, and it looks really nice, very similar to like a glowing setting spray. So I like to keep it in this category and just pull it ever so often. So like I said, 12 setting powders. They're not going anywhere, but I thought I would share my collection with you. He is convinced he's gonna lay next to me. He doesn't care at what cost. Whatever position he has to be in, he will be here. Here is my primer collection. There are a couple not here because I am panning a large amount of my primers for 2020. So you can check out my 2020 rolling project pan to see which primers are not here. But these are what's left after those, and I'm very focused on those primers, but I do still pull these in so that they do not go bad. So first up we have Laura Mercier. This is the Foundation Primer in Radiance. This is such a great formula for a primer. A little bit on the pricey side, and anything and everything from Laura Mercier is going to be on the pricey side, but it is a good product. This is the La Roche-Posay. I don't really know how to say that, but this is their primer, and this is going to be one that I do declutter. It is a silicone-based primer, and it broke my skin out last time I used it. And just generally speaking, I don't love silicone primers, so we will go ahead and get rid of this one. These two are favorites of mine. So we have the Banana Brighten Face Primer from Ole Hendrickson, and you can see I've used pretty much half of it. I really love this. I've talked about it a lot on my channel, and it was even in my 2019 favorites, so I won't go into it too much, but we are going to keep that. This is a holy grail here on my channel. This is the Too Faced Hangover RX. Or Hangover X, and I got this at TJ Maxx pretty recently, and it's like their super huge major, it's so big size. I haven't even busted this open. Well, maybe I used it one time, but I love this, and I will definitely be keeping this in my collection. Alright, then we have some from down here. So these two are pretty similar in formula. So we have the No Problem Primer from Touch in Sol and the Revlon Photo Ready. These are very similar in the sense that they do have a little bit of that silicone feel to it, but they're more of a moisturizing type primer, which is my preference. For me personally, because I have drier skin, I do like my primers to be more moisturizing, and I do love primer. I know some people are kind of like, oh, it doesn't do anything. I find it does, and so I'm going to keep both of these. And then we have the e.l.f. Prep and Hydrate Balm. This is one that I haven't used a lot. I'm really curious. I feel like maybe under the eyes it might be nice if I used it more. But I do want to keep it in my collection for now and just see what I use. I do declutters about once a year or so. So I could definitely decide at a different date. But you know, I said disclaimers in the other videos that I didn't say in this one, but I buy all my makeup or it's gifted to me or passed along to me. This one in particular was passed along to me. But other than that, like, companies aren't sending me money. Well, they're not sending me money, but they're not sending me products. So all these products were purchased by me, so I don't just get rid to get rid, if that makes sense. So we got rid of one in this category. I think we're good. Let's move on. Okay, here is my foundation collection. Again, like the primers, there are some in my 2020 rolling project pan that aren't here. So if you're curious about those, go check out that video. But this is another category that I love. Foundations, I love primers, I love bronzers, and I really like trying new things. So again, another category that I'm not going to get rid of anything, but I will share my collection with you. So we have the Flower Light Illusion foundation. This one is in Ivory L2. Love this formula. It's really nice, and this is a pretty good color match for me. This is the Too Faced Born This Way, and this one is in Warm Nude. As you can see, it's really dark for me, but I do like mixing it into some of these foundations that are too light, and I like the formula of this and one day would like to get my color in it, but it's nice and it's a great one for mixing with lighter foundations. This one is new to me, CoverGirl True Blend. This one is in L2, which is Classic Ivory. And also newer to my collection. I have enjoyed it the few times I've used it. I'm just really interested in CoverGirl since they rebranded as cruelty free, and then they have like a bunch of vegan products out now. I think that's very interesting for such a mainstream drugstore brand that's also pretty affordable. So I keep trying their products to see what I like, and I do enjoy this. This is a L'Oreal foundation, the True Match Lumi, and mine is in Soft Ivory Classic Ivory. This is a repurchase. This is one of my favorite drugstore foundations. I've gone through quite a few, and I will definitely be keeping it in my collection. Here, we'll switch these out. I have two from Laura Mercier. I have the Flawless Luminous foundation, and then the Candle Glow Soft Luminous foundation. So this Candlelight, I bought both of these online. This one, it's super light for me. It's 1 into vanilla. So this is an example of what I would mix the Born This Way with. I do like it, and I need to get more use out of it. And then also the Laura Mercier Flawless Whoa, this luminous foundation is in 1 in 1 vanilla. You can see, even though they're like the same color, different across formulas, they are not the same color. But anyways, I like this one a lot. This is one that goes on kind of streaky, but as you continue your makeup and set everything, it looks absolutely stunning. And I do sometimes have to mix it with the Born This Way, and those two mix really nicely together. So love those. Gonna keep all of these. These three were given to me. They were passed along to me for me to try out, and I'm actually just going to go ahead and set them to the side and play with them a little bit more and decide before putting them in my collection. So we'll actually put these to the side and use them in the upcoming weekly makeup basket. But first we have Elizabeth Arden Flawless Fusion. This one is in Linen 01. I've never tried an Elizabeth Arden foundation, but we will set that aside for makeup basket this coming week. I actually have tried the BH Cosmetics liquid foundation. This one is in 212 Light Olive, and I did like this, so we'll go ahead and keep that one. And then Shiseido, this one looks like it's separating, but I still want to try it. Let me know if that's bad. But this is Shiseido Synchro Skin Long Lasting Liquid Foundation in Neutral 2. So I do want to try that one out as well. So we'll set those aside. This is also new to my collection, the Too Faced Do You Almond. I got it at the same time I got that Too Faced Hangover, the massive one, but I want to give it more use. I think this is going to be something in the summertime that I use, and I might have to end up mixing it in with something else because it's a very light coverage, and I don't love light coverage. I'm more of a medium coverage person. This is another one of my all-time favorite products. This is the L'Oreal Pro Glow. It's almost empty, but this is one that I will repurchase when it runs out, so there's no need in running and using it up. But I love this one so much, and this is one that I typically travel with because it goes well with every single product in my collection. It's plastic, so I know it's not going to break. It's small, it's lightweight, it's great. So this is 202 Creamy Natural, which has been a pretty good color for me in this line. Lastly, this is newer to my collection as well. This is the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Hydrate, and mine's in C4. I love this one. The color isn't amazing, but once I finish all of my makeup, it looks really nice, and it does have a nice pump on it. I really enjoy it, and yeah, I think that's that. So we put 2 to the side to play with a little bit more, and then we're gonna just keep the rest of this. Here is my concealer collection, and I do have a couple again in that 2020 Project Pan, so go check it out if you're curious about what those are. I also have a Do It Again Project Pan on my channel that has these, you know, other concealers in it, but these are just concealers. I'm not panning, they're in my collection, so let's talk about it. I love the Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. Mine is an almond. This is a really pretty concealer. I just love the Born This Way line in general from Too Faced. I haven't tried their pressed setting powder, but everything else from this line is really nice and worth the price. And the actual Too Faced website has a lot of sales that Ulta and Sephora don't often have, so you can get this stuff for a fairly decent price. We have the CoverGirl concealer that goes along with the foundation. This is the True Blend Undercover, and mine is in Classic Ivory. This one blew up on YouTube in 2019, and I haven't seen as many people posting about it recently, but I do really enjoy that. I've talked about these 3 a lot on my channel, especially recently, so I won't go into great detail, but I have 2 e.l.f. Camo Concealers. One is in Fair Beige and one is in Medium Peach, and then I did pick up the hydrating version of it in Light Peach, and I like all of these. I talked about it a lot in my 2019 favorites and all that stuff, so I will spare you guys in this video, but you can go check out those videos if you're curious. This is the Hello Fab Bendy Avocado Concealer. Mine is in 2. This is one that gets neglected in my collection still, even though I've had it for so long, but I still want to keep using it. Here's one of my favorite concealers, the L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear. Mine is in 355 Vanilla. Again, one of my favorites in my collection. Then to match that concealer, or that foundation, is the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Hydrate Concealer in C3. Absolutely love this concealer. I reach for a lot. Whether or not I pull it in a weekly makeup basket, I'm still always pulling it. And then this was passed along to me, and I still want to try it. The Femi Contour Get Luminous Concealer Pen. You had me at luminous. In this color, yes. Unknown. I don't know. Maybe they just have one color. But I'm going to set this to the try pile to the side, and that's it for concealer. So yes, again, if you haven't seen my project pans, I do have setting sprays in those, but these are the ones that aren't necessarily in a project. But I do have a goal of, with the exception of the all-nighter, using every one of my setting sprays this year, 2020, before I buy any new ones. All-nighters, one I love, I'll always keep on hand, so there's no reason to pan it or rush through it unless it's getting on the older side. But these are fine. So all-nighter is hands down my favorite setting spray of all time. So I have a backup. This one's about half full, and this is empty, but I pour from the big one into here to when I travel or anything like that. So we are good with those. The Milani Make It Dewy Setting Spray, I need to pour this into another container. I think I can maybe pop off the top and do that. The sprayer just deposited like chunks of this on my face, and I can't make it work unless I spray it before my makeup and then like blend it out with a beauty blender. So yeah, I still want to use it though. This NYX Dewy Finish, it's actually almost done. I haven't had it that long, but it has such a nice sprayer that I think I end up just spraying over and over and over with it. This is new to me. This is the LA Girl Shimmer Spray. This came for free as a free gift on one of my Ulta orders. And so this is for body or face. So I want to play with it some more. It has a weird smell to it, but I think for the body, I mean, I think it'll be fine. I think it'll be fine. Okay, here is my bronzer collection. Bronzers is like one of my favorite categories. I just really love trying bronzers. And this year I'm doing something a little bit different with my powder products where I'm not panning powder products. I mean, there might be a couple that you see in project pans, but as like overarching 2020 goals, it's not powders, because powders are so expensive and I tend to love what I have in my powders that I just don't see a need to use them up unless they're going bad, or they're just like almost empty and I just need to like let it go, you know, use it up and be done with it. So I love everything here. Bronzers are just good. So majority of these are drugstore. Let's split them like that. We'll say drugstore or affordable because ColourPop isn't technically drugstore. Okay, maybe it's an even split. Oops. Anyways, Anastasia, this is the Rosewood Bronzer. Love it. I talk about it a lot on my channel, so I won't spend too much time on it. Too Faced, this is the Sweet Tea Bronzer. Love it. The Hourglass, this is the Luminous Bronze Light. I have a love-hate relationship with this, but because I spent so much on it, and most of the time I love it, she's staying. Y'all know this is one of my favorite Holy Grail here on the channel, Park Avenue Princess by Tarte, and I recently hit pan on it. So good. Here is Urban Decay Beached Bronze Sunkiss. This actually might be one that you see in a project pan at some point this year just because it falls in that category of there's not a lot left, just work through it, but I do enjoy it. Here is Sephora's Fiji. This is such a low-key, low-hyped product here on YouTube, but those who have it love it, and I agree, I love it as well. Very comparable to the Too Faced Sweet Tea or the Tarte Park Avenue Princess. Tone's a little bit off, but as far as like a shimmery bronzer where the light hits it just right, Then we have Too Faced Unicorn Tears, obviously limited edition, but I love putting this over other bronzers in the summer. It's very red tone and I find it's kind of patchy on its own, but to do like as a finishing bronzer, which is like so extra, it gives like that super beautiful sun-kissed look that I absolutely enjoy. So we're gonna keep that as well. And then here are my drugstore, can you see them? There we go, drugstore bronzers. So the classic L'Oreal True Match Lumi Bronze It. This one is in 0 to medium. The L'Oreal Lumi line in general is also really good. I have the setting spray on my face today. I do enjoy it. I don't like the nozzle it comes in, but I pour it in a different bottle and it's just fine. These would be, in my opinion, drugstore equivalent to like the Too Faced Sweet Tea and all of that. Then we have from ColourPop, one of their bronzers that's not in there. Let me grab that. It's actually just in the Z palette because it is magnetic. And this one is called In It to Win It. Again, a nice shimmery type bronzer. Then we have Milani. This is the Glow Bronzer. It has some glitter in it, but it is really nice. I would say this one is most comparable to the Hourglass one here. I think the Milani one is a little bit more reliable than the Hourglass as far as it plays well with all products, but I do love it. This is a repurchase, the Butter Bronzer, which I am wearing in this video. This one is in bronzer and gorgeous, stunning, love it. I panned one like a year or so ago and I just had to repurchase it. Then we have the Milani. These are the Silky Smooth bronzers. I have 1 and 2. I'm going to keep both. I like these, and we bought these on our mini honeymoon, our mini moon, and so we'll keep those forever. Then we have the Maybelline City Bronzer. This one's nice. It's hyped a lot here on YouTube. I have color 100, and I do like it a lot. It's buildable, it's easy to use, all that good stuff. And then new to my collection, I told you I keep trying out CoverGirl. This is the CoverGirl bronzer in Golden Tan 104. I layered this on top of the Butter Bronzer in the look you saw in the intro, and I love it. So we will keep all of those. Ooh! okay, we are on the other side of that. Declutter and inventory turned out to be more of like, let's look at these categories. So I hope you're not too disappointed, but like I said, Mama buys this herself, so she's not going to get rid of it just to entertain you, okay? But we did get rid of one primer, and then we have a few items that are on the chopping block to use and make a decision about. So could potentially have a couple more products. I forgot to mention the ColourPop No Filter Stick in Light, and then the Clinique 01 Linen Foundation as well. So we'll just work these into future weekly makeup baskets. So I'll just send them right here so we remember. And then we'll make a decision about them as we use them. So I hope you guys all enjoyed. I did actually get rid of stuff in the other declutters, so go check them out. But that is all I have for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Come back on Friday. We will do a weekly makeup basket, and then come back next week and we will do our makeup inventory. So how many numbers are in each category? How much does each category add up to be? And what's the total cost of my collection? That will be next week. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!